I took her up somewhere nice in Kenya and proposed.
It's very romantic. There's a true romantic in that.
There is.
And you said yes, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
In a stunning royal twist that's lighting up headlines across the UK, Princess Catherine steps out in breathtaking fashion, wearing one of Princess Diana's most iconic inherited jewelry pieces. The moment is powerful, symbolic, and deeply emotional. But while the public erupts with admiration, whispers of royal tension explode behind palace walls. Sources say Queen Camilla was not amused, sparking a meltdown that has insiders scrambling. Was this a subtle tribute or a bold royal statement? Buckle up as we dive into the dazzling drama shaking Buckingham Palace. The ring that whispered Diana's name. When Prince William got down on one knee in Kenya, holding out a stunning 12-carat sapphire ring, it was more than just a romantic proposal. It marked the beginning of a love story rooted not only in hope for the future, but also in deep remembrance. That ring, dazzling, elegant, unforgettable, had once belonged to the late Princess Diana, his mother. It wasn't just a piece of royal jewelry, it was a symbol of love, loss, and legacy. By choosing that ring, William sent a message far deeper than words. He wasn't only asking Catherine Middleton to marry him. He was, in a way, inviting her into his world, a world shaped by privilege, yes, but also by pain. With that ring, he shared a part of his heart that had long been guarded. The grief of a son who lost his mother far too soon, and the weight of growing up under the shadow of both her fame and her tragedy. That single moment in Kenya tied together three lives: William, Catherine, and Diana. Though Diana wasn't physically present, her spirit was very much alive in that moment. The sapphire, once worn by her graceful hand, now sparkled with new promise on Catherine's. It was a quiet but powerful way of saying, Diana is part of this love story too. For Catherine, saying yes was more than a commitment to a man she loved. It was a brave step into a royal world that comes with both admiration and relentless attention. She wasn't just agreeing to become a princess. She was stepping into a legacy that came with the love of millions and the scrutiny of just as many. Most of all, she was accepting the silent presence of a mother-in-law she would never meet, but whose impact she would feel every single day. And from the very beginning, Catherine never tried to replace Diana. She didn't have to. The world saw something different in her. Not a replica, but a reflection. She carried herself with quiet strength, kindness, and humility. Like Diana, she had a calming presence, a natural grace, but she also brought her own light, her own voice, her own story. That sapphire ring, once a reminder of what was lost, now became a symbol of what could be. In wearing it, Catherine didn't just carry a memory, she honored it. And William, in giving it, showed that his future would always be shaped by his past, but not trapped by it. From that unforgettable moment in Kenya, their journey began, one woven with emotion, legacy, and a promise that love, when built on remembrance and respect, can bloom into something truly timeless. Very recently, Catherine was seen adorning one of Princess Diana's jewelry, sparking memories. Let's delve into the details of the event that had her adorning the ring. Princess Kate on royal visit to Scotland. On a bright and breezy Wednesday in Scotland, the Princess of Wales lit up the day with her warm smile and elegant presence during the second day of her royal tour with Prince William. The visit wasn't just another public appearance. It was a deeply symbolic moment, rich with emotion and purpose. The royal couple, who quietly marked their 14th wedding anniversary during the trip, looked completely in sync as they stepped out into the stunning Scottish landscape. Their destination, a meeting with countryside rangers from the Mull and Iona Ranger Service, where they learned more about local efforts to protect the natural environment, a cause both William and Kate have long been passionate about. Despite the meaningful setting, it was Kate's effortless style and personal symbolism that truly captured hearts. Dressed in her signature blend of comfort and class, she wore a simple yet polished outfit. A pair of fitted jeans, a smart blazer, and a standout blouse with a delicate pie-crust neckline. The high-necked frilly collar wasn't just a fashion choice. It was a thoughtful nod to the past. This style was famously worn by her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana, and became one of the most iconic looks of the 1980s. But it wasn't just the blouse that stirred emotion. Royal watchers were quick to notice something even more touching. For the first time in months, Kate was seen wearing Diana's famous sapphire and diamond engagement ring. The very ring William used to propose to her. The piece hadn't been spotted on her finger since 2024, when she publicly shared the heartbreaking news that she had begun chemotherapy treatment. Its reappearance now, as she stood tall, smiling and engaged in conversation with rangers, sent a quiet yet powerful message, one of hope, healing, and strength. It reminded many of Diana's enduring legacy and of Kate's graceful way of honoring it while forging her own path. Her return to royal duties, even as she continues to navigate her health journey, was described by many as inspiring. With each step, she seemed to be telling the world, "I am still here, I am still serving, and I am still me." The Scottish countryside, dramatic hills, clear skies, and rolling green, made for the perfect backdrop to a visit that blended environmental advocacy with personal resilience. As Kate and William chatted warmly with the rangers and posed for photos, it was clear this was more than a formal stop. It was a celebration of life, love, and legacy. And as the sun caught the sparkle of that legendary ring once more, it was as if Diana herself was there, smiling alongside them, not just in memory, but in spirit, carried forward by a woman whose strength now shines just as brightly. How will Camilla react to Catherine's choice of jewelry? Let's dig into the details. Catherine versus Camilla. Beneath the glittering tiaras and public appearances, a quiet power struggle simmers within the British monarchy, one centered on two remarkable women, Queen Camilla and Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Though both are near the heart of the royal family, their paths have been drastically different. Queen Camilla, once the controversial figure in a royal love triangle, spent years battling public scrutiny. Over time, through quiet resilience and the steadfast support of King Charles, she rose from scandal to become his official Queen Consort. Today, she holds the crown, her role confirmed, and stands by Charles as his partner. On the other side is Catherine, who captivated the nation as Kate Middleton, the modern-day fairy tale bride. Her grace, charm, and ability to connect with the public have made her the monarchy's brightest star, symbolizing hope for a future people can believe in. Catherine quickly became beloved by the public, thanks to her steady demeanor and unwavering loyalty to Prince William. However, the dynamics behind the palace walls are more complicated than a shared sense of duty. When Catherine entered royal life, insiders suggest Camilla wasn't entirely convinced. Camilla, who had fought her own battles for acceptance, may have viewed Catherine's polished, perfect image as a reminder of the changing nature of royalty. A middle-class girl stepping into a world of old traditions and aristocratic bloodlines. Despite the tension, Catherine didn't fight for power. She let her actions speak. Over time, her grace, loyalty, and calm presence won over not only the public, but also the royal inner circle. Even Queen Elizabeth, before her passing, was said to admire Catherine's quiet strength. While their public interactions remain respectful, there are whispers of an underlying tension. Both women, though polite, are aware of each other's influence and the ways they are shaping the future of the monarchy. Camilla has the formal title and traditional role. while Catherine has won the admiration of the younger generation, representing a more relatable, modern face of royalty. Catherine bridges the gap between the monarchy and reality, a mother of three who manages to balance her royal duties with ease. This subtle rivalry exists not in words or scandals, but in the quiet undercurrents of palace life. Behind every smile and public appearance lies protocol, pride, and influence. Camilla, shaped by survival and second chances, contrasts with Catherine's charm, caution, and modern appeal. Both women wield power in different ways, shaping the future of the crown according to their distinct paths. In the end, it's not a battle for the throne, but a dance between shadows and spotlights, with each woman writing her own legacy, one crown, two stories, and the world is watching every move. So, which jewelries does Catherine adorn from Diana's collections? Let's find out. Jewels that speak louder than words. You'd never hear Catherine, the Princess of Wales, utter Diana's name in every speech or statement. She doesn't need to. Instead, she tells her story in silence, one shimmer at a time. It's not just about what she wears, it's about why she wears it. Every time she steps into the spotlight, there's something quietly powerful about her, an elegance that goes deeper than royal protocol. Look closely, and you'll see it. A sapphire glint on her finger, a familiar sparkle of pearls at her ears, or the gentle weight of a legendary tiara resting atop her crown. In those quiet details, Diana lives again, not as a ghost, but as a graceful thread stitched into the fabric of today's royalty. It began with a ring, not just any ring, a sapphire the color of twilight haloed by diamonds and etched with memory. It was once Diana's, a symbol of love, youth, and the fairy tale that wasn't. When Prince William slipped it onto Catherine's finger, it wasn't just a proposal, it was a handoff. From mother to son, and now to the woman who would carry Diana's light forward. That ring didn't just mark a royal engagement, it revived a legacy, full of both beauty and pain. And then there are the pearls. Simple, elegant, timeless. They once adorned Diana's ears as she braved the harsh gaze of royal life. Now Catherine wears them at moments of deep meaning, quiet occasions, solemn ceremonies, heartfelt appearances. It's almost as if she calls on Diana's grace when she needs it most, wearing not just a piece of her, but a presence, a whisper, a touch on the shoulder from another time. But Catherine doesn't stop at preservation. She dares to renew. Take Diana's sapphire drop earrings, once classic, now reimagined. Catherine had them redesigned, adding a modern edge to their vintage soul. It's not a break from the past, but a bridge. A way of saying, I see where you stood, and I will walk forward in your name. Then there's the lover's knot tiara, the crown that needs no introduction. Diamonds and pearls wrapped in regal splendor, it once rested upon Diana's head as cameras flashed and hearts broke. Now it graces Catherine with that same weight, of duty, of legacy, of silent strength. She wears it with calm dignity, as if telling the world, the woman you loved, she is not gone. She walks with me. She guides me. She watches. These jewels aren't just heirlooms. They are Catherine's quiet armor. They shield. They speak. They shine. Each one is a love letter sealed in gold, a fragment of a story still being written. There is no need for grand gestures, no need for names. In every glint and gleam, Catherine honors the woman who came before her, not by imitation, but by carrying her light forward in her own steady way. And so, without a single word, Catherine reminds the world. Diana may have left the palace, but she never left the story. She lives on, in sapphires, in pearls, in diamonds, and in the quiet strength of the woman who now wears them. Although Catherine might know just little of Diana, she always appears adorning jewelry from her collection. Let's find out if she does this. Dressing the beautiful princess. Even the youngest member of the royal family is part of a quiet, beautiful tribute to Princess Diana. One woven not in words, but in fabrics, colors, and careful details. Though Princess Charlotte never met her late grandmother, she already carries a piece of her with every step she takes, and that's no accident. Behind the scenes, it is Catherine, the Princess of Wales, who carefully curates Charlotte's wardrobe with the devotion only a mother could offer. But this is more than fashion. It's a gentle act of remembrance, a way of bringing Diana's spirit into her granddaughter's life in a way that is natural, loving, and deeply personal. With every dress, ribbon, or hair clip, Catherine tells a story. And for those who know what to look for, the clues are everywhere. Many of Charlotte's outfits are inspired by Diana's most beloved styles. Soft blues that echo the late princess's favorite shades, Peter Pan collars trimmed with lace, delicate puffed sleeves, and timeless dresses with classic prints. Sometimes the resemblance is subtle, just a hint of a certain fabric or the way a cardigan is buttoned. But other times, it's unmistakable. Photographs of Charlotte often mirror images from the 1980s, where Diana is seen holding a young Prince William. The same sweet smile, the same frilly socks, the same overall elegance without extravagance. It's as though Diana's fashion legacy is being passed down like a family heirloom, not locked away in a palace archive, but living and breathing through a little girl with bright eyes and royal poise. Observers of the royal family have noted that this homage isn't just about aesthetics. It's emotional. It's symbolic. Catherine never had the chance to meet Diana, yet she's clearly spent time studying the essence of who she was, especially as a mother. Through Charlotte, Catherine creates a silent but powerful connection between the past and the present, bridging generations in the most tender way. Some say that in these small choices, a pleated skirt here, a bow-tied ponytail there, Diana walks again, not with the flashbulbs or frenzy that followed her in life, but softly, sweetly, and with the same grace she was known for. It's also a lesson in how legacy can be carried not just in names or grand titles, but in the tiniest of details. In Charlotte's clothes, we see not only a fashionable child, but a thread that binds her to a woman whose compassion, courage, and charisma changed the face of the monarchy. A woman the world still mourns and still deeply admires. Catherine's tribute is powerful because it doesn't try to replace Diana. Instead, it honors her in the gentlest way possible, by letting her presence quietly shape the life of a granddaughter who's already showing signs of the same charm, confidence, and spark. And while Charlotte may not fully understand the meanings behind her outfits just yet, one day she will. One day, she'll look at photos of herself in a powder blue coat or a floral smock dress and see the resemblance to the grandmother she never met. And feel, perhaps, as though she knew her all along. In the end, this silent tribute isn't about style at all. It's about memory. It's about love. And through Charlotte, Diana is not just remembered, she is felt. She walks with them still. Taking a look at Diana, each jewel has a story behind it. Let's dig out the facts, the secret stories behind Diana's jewels. They don't shout for attention. They don't need to. The jewels worn by royalty glisten softly under camera lights and chandeliers. But to those who truly see, they do more than sparkle. They speak. Not in voices, but in legacy, memory, and quiet symbolism. Through them, a timeless dialogue unfolds, one carried between two women of remarkable poise and presence, Princess Diana and Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Diana never needed grand speeches to be understood. Her fashion was her language, her jewelry, her script. Each brooch and bracelet was chosen not just for elegance, but for meaning. Her jewels whispered of compassion, resilience, and subtle defiance. They told the world who she was, even when her voice was restrained by royal formality. Today, that soft whisper has not faded. It has simply found a new voice in Catherine. When she steps out wearing pieces once treasured by Diana, it's more than a matter of style. It is a graceful continuation of a story. A tribute not just to a woman, but to what she stood for. Through diamonds and pearls, Catherine doesn't just remember Diana, she converses with her. Take the South Sea pearl earrings, for example. Diana wore them in 1996 during a radiant tour of Australia, one of her last. Years later, Catherine chose them for the 2019 BAFTAs. It wasn't a coincidence. It was a quiet nod to a woman who redefined modern royalty. The earrings shimmered again, not just with light, but with remembrance. Or the 3-row pearl bracelet designed by Nigel Milne. Diana wore it while supporting Birthright, showing elegance in service. In 2022, Catherine wore the same bracelet during her visit to Jamaica. It wasn't merely an accessory, it was a passing of the torch. The mission continued. So did the message. Then there's the Prince of Wales Feathers brooch. With royal roots dating back to 1863, it once adorned Diana with regal pride. She wore it on her own terms, bold yet gentle, formal yet approachable. Catherine now pins it to her gowns, not as an echo, but as an evolution. She honors the legacy, yet writes her own lines. And finally, the Japanese pearl choker, a striking piece gifted to Queen Elizabeth II and later worn by Diana during both grand banquets and solemn ceremonies. Today, Catherine reaches for that same choker in moments that matter, like Queen Elizabeth's funeral, where silence speaks louder than words. When she wears it, it becomes more than jewelry. It becomes a memory woven around the neck. In each of these choices, Catherine isn't merely playing dress-up in the past. She's keeping a story alive. She moves forward while carrying history gently in her hands. Through every jewel, she continues a quiet, elegant conversation, one about grace, duty, compassion, and transformation. Because true royalty doesn't need to dazzle to be noticed, it doesn't clamor for attention. It simply glows from within and through jewels that still know how to speak. As Catherine steps into Dana's shoes, the world cannot but remember the good old days of Diana. Let's find out what she does and how she adorns herself in public. Catherine's crown of quiet power. Once, the world was captivated by Princess Diana, whose charm, grace, and warmth illuminated every room she entered. Her presence was magnetic, and her kindness had the power to soften the hardest hearts. But now, a new figure has risen, carrying the weight of the royal legacy with her own unique allure. Catherine, the Princess of Wales. While she may not have Diana's same fiery presence, Catherine exudes a different yet equally captivating energy, a quiet strength that speaks volumes. What makes Catherine stand out, however, is more than just her actions or words. It's the subtle, yet powerful way she carries herself, the choices she makes in what she wears, and the stories behind each piece of jewelry. When Catherine steps out in a carefully selected earring or an iconic brooch, it's not a random decision. Each piece has a deeper meaning. She is not simply honoring her late mother-in-law, Diana, but reinterpreting her legacy in her own way. Diana's jewels, once symbols of her distinct, unforgettable style, are now part of Catherine's modern-day royal wardrobe. But when Catherine wears them, it's far from just a nod to the past. It's a statement, a quiet declaration that she sees. Diana's influence in her life, and feels a deep sense of connection to her. Through each carefully chosen piece of jewelry, Catherine is saying, "I honor her memory, and I carry her spirit with me." But Catherine's use of Diana's heirlooms isn't simply about nostalgia. It's about bridging two worlds. The past and the present come together through these symbolic gestures, creating a powerful emotional link between two generations of royal women. Whether it's wearing Diana's sapphire engagement ring at a high-profile event or donning one of her signature necklaces at a formal occasion, Catherine is weaving Diana's legacy into the fabric of today's royal duties. She's taking timeless treasures and making them relevant once again, ensuring they continue to tell the story of a remarkable woman while giving them new life in the modern world. Catherine's careful blending of tradition and modernity has not gone unnoticed. Royal watchers, fashion enthusiasts, and admirers alike see the power in her choices. But it's not just about the jewelry or fashion. It's about the silent language of legacy. In her subtle yet powerful way, Catherine uses Diana's heirlooms as emotional bridges, connecting the past with the present and ensuring that Diana's warmth, kindness, and strength are never forgotten. Whether on a red carpet or at a somber royal ceremony, each piece of jewelry becomes a living testament to a legacy that lives on. What do you think about Princess Catherine's adornment of jewelries from Diana's collections? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.